Welcome everyone to Road to Close, brought to you by Premier Homes, Pittsburgh's newest and only authentic residential real estate talk show. I'm Hannah Mears, and we have a fantastic premiere episode for you today. We will provide you with the latest insight into the often confusing and fast-paced world of residential real estate here in Pittsburgh, including mortgage information, tips for buyers and sellers, and groundbreaking topics in the market today. Pittsburgh's Road to Closed is the only show to take a deep dive into residential real estate trends and more, while also providing invaluable insight into home ownership, including new construction and existing residential real estate. We have an all-star cast with the most seasoned and knowledgeable experts in local real estate, led by our host and creator, the star of our show, and 15-year residential real estate expert, Brian Tessier. Road to Closed starts now.
Welcome to our very first episode. So excited to be here. I just love this stuff and I cannot wait to share all the information with you. Been a top performing realtor since 2007. It's been a lot of dedication, hard work, and a lot of learning to understand this Pittsburgh market. I'm so glad to have this opportunity to share all I've learned and thankful to have you watching here tonight. Residential real estate can be super confusing and at times scary. Right, Bruce?
Very scary.
Welcome to my bodyguard and full-time dog nanny, Bruce Adams.
How are you?
Good, Bruce. What'd you do this weekend? Tell me something exciting.
Exciting?
Yeah.
Well, while you're out and playing, I got to take care of the dog. What is exciting about that? Then I got to get the hair out of my clothes. What do you mean with that?
What all is involved with taking care of Picasso? He takes care of himself.
You would think so, so why don't you take him?
Well, I kind of like the setup we have. That's a good job you're doing.
Well, thank you.
Speaking of scary, it can be a little uneasy dealing with the ups and downs of the economy with the interest rate changes. I know that people are getting nervous about the interest rate, but don't worry, it's something we're going to talk about later on in the show. So buyers, sellers, we got your back on that. The good thing about the Pittsburgh market is it's always pretty steady. Not a lot of bumps in the road there, not like the potholes here. One good thing about the snow fills in the potholes. Another thing about this city, bridges. Pittsburgh has 446 bridges, even more than Venice, Italy. Yet a lot of Pittsburgh residents would rather not cross a bridge. It did turn out to be a positive though when dating. I knew if I broke it off with a girl from across the bridge, chances are we would never see each other again. See, Bruce, turning these obstacles into a positive. Potholes, no problem, snow fills them. Breakups, no problem, bridges are better than the block feature. Confusing residential real estate market and interest rates, no problem. You have Road to Closed. We have a great show for you today. My very first guest is a good friend of mine and fantastic realtor, the savvy Anna DeFrank is here. Mortgage guru Laurie Nelson is here for our trending lending segment. My longtime colleague Rick Neff from Pennsylvania Land Titles is here. New powerhouse realtor Michaela Sanford joins me for this week's Mentor Moment segment. And Yarn Brantley from Shape Training drops by later in the show. That and much, much more. It's going to be fun, so grab your pre-approval letter, declutter your house, because here we go. Welcome back. My very first guest tonight is the savvy Anna DeFrank. So, have you met DJ Jess?
I have.
DJ Jess.
We actually did an event a long time ago.
DJ Jess, awesome addition to the show. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. Okay, so Anna, how long have you been in the business? Give me some info.
I've been in the business going on 10 years now.
What? You don't look that old.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I got my associate broker's license about 4 years ago. Licensed PA, California, and Florida currently.
Wow. Why so many states?
I travel a lot, so it's a write-off.
I love that. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
So you've been in the business. What are your specialty? What do you like to do?
I love being a seller's agent,
Okay.
especially since the last 2 years with
Right,
the
right.
market being how it was.
Right.
But I do love working with investors. I love working with all types of clients, but I
see.
tend to lean towards the investors. Yeah.
Right, and, we talk about all the time, who you work with matters. I mean, I post that a lot in my hashtags.
It does. It
And
truly does.
It really does make a difference because buyers can make an epic mistake if they choose the wrong agent, and
Yeah.
sellers could get on the market, sign a listing contract, and then they're stuck in this contract for a year.
I'm sure you go through this too. People
Right.
who want to get out of listing contracts because their seller's agent isn't servicing them the way they would like to be served. And my first thing is, well, what's your listing contract say? They're like, I have no idea. I don't even have it.
All right. I wonder if sellers and buyers even know. A lot of times they don't even know if they signed a contract because
No.
all these documents come through in DocuSign,
Yep.
and they're just signing.
It's
signing.
mindless.
Right, and they don't even know. So one of my funniest stories, and I just showed 10 multi-units the other day. It's about multi-units always give me a problem. So one of the stories I tell is I open the lockbox, I open the door, and I scream in there, Brian Remax, I'm here to sell the house, blah, 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 blah. Screaming, right? Nobody answers, nobody comes down, nobody says a peep. So I say to the buyers, okay, come on, let's go in. As soon as we go in, a man pops out of the very top of the steps, full frontal, completely naked.
That's wonderful.
So I was horrified, obviously.
I'm sure he wasn't happy. You
Well,
were
no,
there.
it's,
Okay.
and
just make sure.
the way it worked out was timing was impeccable. He was in the shower whenever I was screaming.
Yeah.
And then I turned and he had got out of the shower. Then he heard somebody coming in through the front door. Obviously, this guy is scared out of his mind. And he pops out the door with not thinking anybody's there. And here's me with 3 buyers staring up at him.
Oh my God. First of all, who leaves the bathroom with nothing on? I don't know. I would wear a towel at least.
I will tell you this, the house was too small, so we didn't buy it.
The naked truth.
So anyway, we took the liberty of pulling some photos off of the MLS. Not necessarily our MLS, but the MLS across the nation. MLS means what, Bruce?
Major League Soccer.
It does not mean Major League Soccer. It means multiple listing service or fines central, as I like to call it, because they find me so
Oh,
much.
yeah. You're notorious for getting fines. You're always supposed to.
Well, let me tell you, the people that have these photos up on the MLS, and this is actually photos an agent put up trying to sell someone's house, they should be fined. So the first photo, what do you think about that one?
That looks terrible.
Somebody put the TV right above the bed.
And the mirrors. Interesting. I don't know. Not enticing. Look how many mirrors are in there. Actually, I'm changing my opinion on
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
Being able to see myself from every angle. This is okay.
So this is a girl's dream place. Now, I think that person's got to be blind that's looking at that TV. It's an 80-inch TV right above the pillow. This one is going to be a little more sketchy, a little more risque. I don't know if I'm okay with it.
Whoa.
I'm just not sure I like it in
Is
the
this
foyer.
Christian Grey's house?
It is Christian Grey's house.
All right.
AKA
Another
Brian
good
Gray.
selling point. Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Bruce, do you have one of these in your house?
What is that?
It is
I would
a,
have to-
you
It's for adults.
tie people up and your wife and stuff.
Oh, a sex spring.
It is kind of sexual, but they have it right in the dining room, which I find kind of odd.
It's where they eat.
I'm going to leave that one alone. Moving on.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Last photo here, and I've seen these before. I kind of like it. It's super tight. So what do you think the advantage of that
is? Is this New York City?
It could be. What do you think the advantage of having something like that is?
I mean, you could get everything done.
Exactly.
Yes, time saver.
Right.
It's
So
a
you can
time
shower,
saver.
poop, cook, clean your hands all at the
Yes,
same time.
absolutely.
They just need to throw laundry in there.
Yeah. Oh, you can do it while you're in the bathtub.
We'll have to ask our designer, Kay Benetti, what she thinks about this.
Yeah.
I don't think she would design anything like this.
So
Well, I know Katie's here somewhere. She's our resident designer, Katie Benetti. So tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been doing design? I mean, we met maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I mean, she had already mentioned that Instagram is our resume, and that's kind of how I found you. We were working on a Lawrenceville Loft project.
Yes.
I saw your Instagram, and then from there we became friends. And
Yes. So some of the projects I kind of self-made into design, but I connected with some developers and
Right.
they needed some help.
Yep.
Let's just say
all developers need help, by the way.
Yeah, true.
It's the dude
Very
who
true.
wouldn't pay for it.
Exactly. They don't. But well, that's a different episode. But for this, it was more so. I think trends are changing with HGTV and Instagram, like you said,
Yep.
the TikToks. Like there's so much interior design. So I think some people just get overwhelmed and need some help, and that's where I come in. I help coordinate it and guide you and give you some selections you might not know that work together.
In a tough market, a market that's tightening up, so one thing I would recommend is be different. If your project looks the same as all the other projects, it's just going to blend in. And that's kind of why I was attracted to you and your work and all that is it's so different. Everything is so different. I think you wallpapered the ceiling in
a closet,
owner's closet.
I wanted to be a little different, and it did get attention. Sometimes there are those attention grabbing just so you remember it. So many
100%.
people be like, why did you do this? And it's like, well, we're talking about it, aren't we?
Right. Ever put wallpaper on the ceiling?
I have not.
All right. Anna, Katie, doing an amazing job. You ladies are killing it. All young ladies, please look up to these ladies. Bruce, I'm starting to feel a little outnumbered here.
Don't worry, we got your back.
As you always do. When we come back, we're talking to another female powerhouse, Lori Nelson, in our trending lending segment about mortgages, interest rates, and more. But first, we have our own in-studio powerhouse, Hannah Mears with Pittsburgh History Trivia.
Thanks, Brian. Did you know that from 1830 to 1930, Pittsburgh housed more millionaires than New York City? The booming steel industry, as well as coal and oil, enabled these tycoons to build expansive, extravagant mansions in and around the city. But the most impressive was Millionaires Row on 5th Avenue in Shadyside. And 4 of these tycoons are now very well-known household names in Pittsburgh. Can you name them? The answer when we come back.
I know you're enjoying Road to Closed. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me on my social media listed below. I'm Anna DeFrank, your real estate specialist. There's more Road to Closed right after this.
Hey everyone, your trusted real estate advisor, Brian Tessier, and you are watching Road to Closed.
So who were those Pittsburgh millionaire tycoons? Did you get them right? The answers are Carnegie, Mellon, Frick, and Westinghouse. Brian, were you the realtor of any of those million-dollar homes? It wasn't that long ago, right?
Congratulations, you made it through the very first segment. Hannah, I actually think I know somebody who can lend us a couple shekels for those million-dollar mansions. Please welcome mortgage guru, Lori Nelson. Awesome, thanks for coming, Lori.
Thanks for having me.
So,
Excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit, how long you been in the market, what's your job, etc.
So I've been in the mortgage industry since 1999, which gives me over 2 decades of lending in
That
mortgages.
is something you want.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so one of the hottest topics out there is interest rates. What are you seeing? What kind of advice can you give to a buyer that's, I'm not quite sure if I want to buy because interest rates are so high?
I think it's hard not to talk about rates
Right.
because they are at a high point, particularly considering what we went through a couple years ago. But I mean, it shouldn't prevent someone from buying a house right now.
People were spoiled with their super low interest rates. I mean, that was so great for our business to keep things going, but it really kind of hurt us moving forward because some people came into the buyer market with 3% interest rates and they think that's the way it's supposed to be. You've been in business 22 years. I've been in the business 15 years. We've seen the highs and lows. It's never going to be, that was a flash in the pan. It's never going to be that again. They're hovering around 7%, I think. That's not terrible.
No, absolutely not. And there's also a lot of alternatives. Not everybody needs to opt for the 30-year fixed, which
Right.
is typically the highest rate available.
30-year fixed means what?
It means the rate is fixed for 30 years.
Right, as opposed to what's the option?
There are adjustable rate mortgages.
ARMs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And so a 30-year fixed is obviously fixed for 30 years. The adjustable rate mortgages are typically amortized over 30 years. So the payment is calculated that way, but the rate is only fixed for the first 3, 5, 7, or 10 years.
Wow.
And they used to be sort of a taboo thing because back in the day we weren't as regulated, but we are so regulated now. And an adjustable rate mortgage is an absolutely fantastic option for people.
Are you seeing that come back in? Because I think I
Yeah.
just had a buyer do an ARM, and I was like, oh my God, we're
Absolutely.
doing an ARM?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've
They
been
say
hearing
the
that
average, the average person doesn't keep their mortgage for more than 7 years.
Oh, that's so
Yet
true.
95% of people opt for a fixed rate.
Wow, that is so
It should be
crazy.
the opposite.
And that's true, but like our parents, the old Pittsburghers back in the day, they stayed in the same house they grew up in or whatever. So they're going to stay with that 30-year mortgage. And it used to be people would only stay in their houses 7 years in Pittsburgh. I think nowadays I'm seeing people like 1, 2, maybe 3 years, and they're moving on.
Three-ish, yeah.
So it
Absolutely.
would make sense to do an ARM.
It makes a lot of sense. It's not for everyone, but I think that's why you need a good advisor. You need to know that there are lots of options. So, I mean, I think that's an excellent option. I think people are getting a little, they're throwing a 2-1 buy down out there. I don't know if you've heard that.
I've
term.
seen that.
So
Yeah.
for those that don't know, though, please explain what that is, a 2-1 buy down.
I think it's more of a sales tactic than it is a...
So what is it actually, though? Someone's paying money to bring the interest rate from, we'll just pick a number, 20% down to 18%.
Okay, so no, not exactly.
Okay.
You're still paying the same. Let's say your rate was 7%. Okay, the first year you're making a payment that is based on 5%, the second year 6%, the third year 7%. But you're actually paying 7% interest the entire time.
Wow.
So you're front loading your payment.
Right.
I mean, it sounds like a great idea. I personally am not a fan because I think if you're going to spend some extra money up front, then maybe pay points, which are no longer taboo. I mean, people are like, oh my God, are there points? Well, wait a minute.
I pay points, yeah.
Right.
Brought down my mortgage.
So you got to do the math. If it costs you $1,000, but you're saving $200 a month, it's going to take you, just a few months, and you're gonna pay that off.
And
So,
again, this goes back to who you work with matters, right? And that's why I always say they should use a lender and I just had this conversation the other day. You could sit in front of the lender and pick their brain and have a question. Even if you're a texter or you're a phone caller or an emailer, if you ever got into trouble with the biggest financial purchase of your life and you wanted to speak to your lender, you need to be able to go and sit right in front of them like we're doing now and ask the questions and get a comfort level.
right.
So anyway, you can tell Lori is a boss lady and knows her stuff in the industry. More Road to Close right after this.
Hey everyone, I'm Anna DeFrank, your real estate expert, and you're watching Road to Closed.
Hey, Michaela Sanford here, Pittsburgh's hottest new realtor. If you have any real estate questions, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help.
Man, I'm absolutely loving this. Having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Bruce, having a good time.
We're having a wonderful time.
Stand up, show some excitement.
I'm excited. We're all excited.
What the heck happened to your microphone?
It passed my outfit.
Only you. All right, coming up, one of my favorite segments. That's where I get to coach a newer Pittsburgh agent. Anna and I are going to talk about some things to do and some things not to do. Most importantly, we're going to get a fresh perspective on what they're experiencing so far. Please welcome to the show Pittsburgh's newest up-and-coming force in residential real estate, Michaela Sanford. Okay, so what I want to start off talking about is a little story since you're new to the industry, whenever I was new to the industry, and I can't even believe this happened to me. When I first started, I had a buyer that wanted to see 10, 13, an ungodly amount of houses, right? Nobody had trained me or told me anything. I had no idea you're supposed to call each listing agent or contact them and say, I want to show the house. So I showed up expecting to show 10 houses with the client and just knocked on the customer's door and was like, hey, I'm Brian, I'm here to show your house.
Yeah, no, I mean, they literally don't teach you anything
No.
in school. They teach you the book, and that's it.
Yeah.
Tell me one of your stories.
So, like, I did my first showing, and I get there, and I'm like, oh, yeah, hey, guys, trying to, act like I know what I'm doing. I go ahead and put my phone up to a combination lock. Like, not the iBox, the combination. And I'm like, oh, it's not working. I don't know what's going on. Like, just trying to, I was like, oh, sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm locked out.
Right.
I didn't know what to do. Like, I was so embarrassed.
Did you keep them as a client?
Here
Did it work out?
I mean, it's the same thing with me. I wasn't able to show the house, lost the
Yeah.
client, lost the money, all due to lack of training. So that's kind of what we want to talk about today and give you some tips and tricks.
Yeah.
So one of the things about this is mentor moment, and that is whenever you get to ask us, experienced agents, a question about how we do things. Do you have a question?
Yeah. So, your guys' first year, what was the biggest mistake you've made in real estate?
I mean, showing people houses that didn't have money. That would
Why
probably
the
be a
heck would you do
huge
that?
mistake. You don't know. I mean, like it's lack of training. It's experience is the best teacher.
Right. Michaela, have you done that yet?
Show people that don't
Houses
have
with
no money? Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, and you just don't know until, like,
You're so
talk
excited to
them.
show a
Yeah.
house.
Right.
You're like, them having money is like secondary.
Right.
Yeah.
And the silver lining in that is you get experience. So you get experience with the lockbox, right? Scheduling properties. So if anybody here doesn't have money and wants to buy a house, you contact these two. If you have money, you contact me. So one of my favorite segments is Would You Rather. It's where we get people's different opinions. And I think you have a Would You Rather situation for Anna and I.
Yeah. So, would you guys rather sell $1 million house or $30,000 houses?
First,
Okay, so there's two ways to look at this, right?
look at it one way.
Okay. Where my mind goes, because of my experience, I always work with investors.
Okay.
So $30,000 houses. One of them is going to turn into a flip, or where I could get another sale out of it. So to me, that's like planting seeds. I could have more business if I do it that way.
So your answer is very good. It's a looking forward down the line where you think working with these investors, you're going to have more business and grow your business as the years come.
Correct.
So for me, I would rather do the $1 million because I'm lazy. I don't have to do one set of paperwork, and I got to show them one house or list one house. And here's another thing: they're going to bring other $1 million buyers or $1 million sellers to this table right here.
I would hope.
So I would rather do the $1 million one.
But you
Yeah.
only have one chance for that.
You only have one chance. Well,
But if you do
count.
30, then there's like 30 chances, even more,
Exactly.
because those people are going to want to sell their houses too.
Right.
And I mean, they're going to be like, oh, she sold my house so great, go to her.
Sure.
So now there's like
Referrals,
so
yep.
much,
That's true.
more.
So you'd rather do the 30 houses?
Oh, absolutely. And then I would learn more because, I am new.
Right.
So it's good for me.
Yeah, I think so. Someone in your position, new to the industry, I think that's fantastic. You have a team, I think that's fantastic as well. But me as an individual, I'd rather just do one house, to be honest with you. Okay, so things have changed over the last 10 or 15 years since I've been a realtor. What are some things you're seeing? What are some things you're doing? What's your
Well,
challenge?
Like, you have to just do everything on your own.
Right.
Like, nobody tells you what to do or how to get leads or anything like that. So I just kind of like did my own research. I'm on Google, YouTube, a lot of Instagram.
So I don't think anybody tells us that before we get our license. Like, you really don't know what you're expecting. You go on Instagram and you see Anna killing, you see me killing, whoever,
Yeah.
and you think you're just going to get your license and just start killing it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So you had something very creative and very inventive that I know I haven't done, and I don't think Anna's done as well. So tell me, what was your starter that you found worked?
Okay, so my starter is I decided that I wanted to go put my favorite cookie recipe on a postcard and just hand it out to everybody in my neighborhood.
Love that.
Because I wanted them to know that, I am local.
I thought we were talking about cookies.
Cookies. See, Bruce heard cookies and he woke up over there.
No cookies?
My cookie recipe. I'll bring it for you.
Oh, I thought you brought the cookies.
All right, so you got to be a hustler. You know this industry, you're going to be working a lot of hours,
Yeah.
weekends, long days, through the Steeler games. That's a good thing. And late nights. Have you worked any late nights yet?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So one night, I was just minding my business, doing my regular running around, and I get a text, from somebody in my office, and they're like, "Hey, last minute, can you show this house for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. It's like real close to where I'm at right now, so fine." I hurry up, I go, and I get ready. I get there like 5 minutes before the buyer comes.
Right.
I do my quick little walkthrough. Nothing's in the house. I go upstairs. There's a door. The light's on, but it has like a little funny smell to it or whatever, and I'm like, well, I wonder what's back here, like something died or something. So I hear like scuttling, and I'm like, maybe there's a bird in there. So I open the door, and a dog just like comes out.
Free roaming, not on a leash, on a cage.
Like, no, I mean, I think it was like in a cage because there was a cage in there, but it like busted out of it.
No
I mean,
kidding.
there was just like poop and pee everywhere. I mean, but I just like froze up. I was like,
Wow.
what the?
So what'd you end up doing? You get attacked?
It jumped on me, yeah. And there was poop all over me. I was like, oh my God. So like, luckily I'm good with dogs. I just grabbed the dog and I was like, oh honey, go back in there, because I didn't know what to do.
Wow.
I mean, as soon as I walked out, I started crying, because like I'm a dog lover.
Right.
So I started crying, and
It was abused, you think, or left?
it was definitely neglected. There was nobody there.
Wow. I mean, I would definitely say the show you've ever been on.
Oh, it was. It was. It definitely was.
All right, so that was pretty crazy. One of the tips that a lot of people ask me, nothing to do with a dog, and that is, what is the number one thing that probably helped me boost my business? And that is, and I say it all the time, is get a coach. Matter of fact, my coach is right here with me now, Ben Larson.
Hey, Brian, loving the show. You're doing great. And I agree, having a coach is critical. Even as a broker owner, I'm a team leader. I'm a real estate coach myself with Tom Ferry, and I have a coach of my own. I always have, pretty much through my whole real estate career. So keep it up. I can't believe we started brainstorming this idea almost 2 years ago. So I'm really happy for you. Congrats, man.
Thanks, Ben. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your input as well.
I know you're enjoying this episode of Road to Closed. Everyone has opinions, and we want to hear yours. Send us a DM, email, text, smoke signal, anything with your questions and topics that you would like our experts to discuss on this show. Also, don't forget to show us some love on Instagram and follow us at Road to Closed. Coming up next, Rick Neff, Yarden Brantley, and much more. Keep it right here. We'll be right back.
What's up, everybody? This is Michaela Sanford, and you're watching Road to Close.
So in Pittsburgh residential real estate, one of the most popular things is house flipping. We are lucky enough to have a house that's being flipped currently right now. But in order to get that house flipped, they need money. Fund That Flip is one of the most popular hard money lenders in Pittsburgh. We have them inside waiting for us. Let's go talk to them. All right, Dave.
Brian.
Welcome to Pittsburgh.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
Been a little while. So we are here with David Dugan of Fund That Flip. And Dave, he's going to tell these lovely people who Fund That Flip is and what it is you guys do.
Yeah, Fund That Flip. We are what a lot of people would consider as a hard money lender. I don't love that term. I think it gets thrown around a lot. But at the end of the day, we're cut from that same cloth. So what we do, Brian, is we work solely with real estate investors, and we help them to acquire properties like this, execute a value add, which is typically through some sort of rehab, and get them to an exit strategy, right? Which is usually either to sell the property or to refinance through more of a conventional product. So we're that short-term money, that 9 to 12-month money, to really help people do stuff like this project that we're in right now.
The difference between hard money, the term you don't like, and a regular loan is these buyers go to the table with like a cash deal versus a mortgage where you're making 30-year payments. That's the difference. That's where you guys are.
Yeah, exactly, right? So hard money really helps people acquire property quickly, right? And with very little red tape. It's not like a bank underwrite where it could be a 30, a 60, a 90-day closing. We can help people close properties in 2 or 3 weeks and with very minimal underwriting red tape. And we use the term a lot, same as cash, right?
I love that.
That helps.
So there's a lot of different investors out there. Let's go over a little menu of investors. You work with all investors, just some investors? Tell me what type.
It's a great question, right? So our primary investor base, we'll say, would be people doing fix and flip properties, fix to rent properties and building that rental portfolio, or even new construction, right? A lot of urban infill, new construction, townhomes, that sort of thing.
Okay, so fix and flip, for those people that don't know, is what?
That would be basically the project we're in now, right?
Okay.
They buy a distressed property, they rehab it for somebody to move into, and then they sell that for a profit.
Right, okay. And so let's talk about this project a little bit. How did you guys get involved with this project and with the sellers, and where are we with this project, et cetera?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a pretty typical project for us. It's on the nice end side of what we see because the developers on this project do a really nice job. Bradley and Mitch, we've worked with them for maybe a little over a year now.
Okay.
Those guys came to us. We actually found them on social media, built a good relationship that way, and they were doing maybe 1 or 2 projects at a time then. And they expressed a desire to do more, right? They wanted to stretch their money across 4 or 5,
and that's
6
what you love to hear. You hear more, you're like, ping.
Scalability. That's the whole name of the game for us,
Profit.
right?
Yeah.
Well, exactly, right? Because you can keep doing 1 or 2 properties.
Sure.
You can make a decent living.
Right.
But for people that really want to grow that real estate business, they want to run, right? They don't want to crawl, they don't want to walk, they want to run. We help them run.
What I was going to ask you is, how many of these projects can one person, where you guys, do you feel comfortable funding at the same time? Now you said 5 flips. Is that 5 flips sequentially or 5 flips simultaneously?
Simultaneously,
right,
really.
okay.
And there's no cap that we're going to put on any individual borrower as far as number of properties, total dollar amount, whatever it may be. As long as you're still executing on all of your projects at a high level, as long as you're still able to keep up with your interest payments and have a good cash flow situation, we're going to keep lending to you, whether it's 5 properties or 100 properties.
Right.
We kind of see that whole spectrum.
Nowadays, the market's a little bit shifty. What are you seeing as far as hard money trends, if anything at all?
Yeah, I mean, as far as hard money trends, I think there's less availability of it. I think if you look of money, right? I think if you look over the last couple of years, we were in the hottest real estate market in the history of the U.S.
100%.
Right. So hard money was abundant, bank money was abundant. It all seemed very low risk at the time. Hey, how could you miss in this market, right? We're starting to see the market cool down. Lenders are pulling back. They're being more selective on who they're lending to and what they're lending on. You're seeing interest rates go up.
Right.
For real estate investors, you work with them as well.
Yes.
You know, they're not just going to stop what they're doing. They're not going to go get an office job and work a typical 9 to 5. It's not in their DNA,
Yeah,
right?
never, yeah.
So they're going to keep chugging along. So
Sure.
for them, it's more about, hey, how can we shift our strategy? How can we pivot? And also having a reliable lender like, hey, fund that flips in my corner. I know they're not going away.
Right.
So we can keep going back to them for the financing. How are we going to go about our acquisitions? How are we going to shift our disposition strategy? That sort of thing.
Right. So other than your shirt, where can everybody find you?
Good question. Fundthatflip.com, of course, but social media across all platforms. We're big on YouTube, big on Instagram, but again, across all platforms, you can find us.
So we're not very big on smoke signals.
Not big on smoke signals, not big on, snail mail, that sort of thing,
All
but social media, absolutely.
All right, so all you Pittsburgh investors, if you're not using them, come on, get on the train. More Road to Close coming up next. Hey, I'm Brian Tessier. I know you were entertained and you learned a lot on Road to Close, but if there's something we missed, find me right here. All right, I am pleased to announce my lifelong colleague, Mr. Rick Neff. Giving love to Picasso.
I do love it. How are you? Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
Amazing.
it. Thank
Dude,
you
I'm
both.
so excited to talk to you.
Oh, me too. But first, hey, Bruce, want to say hi, then talk to you. My fellow bald man out there, we have to stick together.
Not a problem. If your wallet's missing,
Absolutely.
Picasso has it.
I love it, man. Cute dog. But thank you.
So let me ask you, on the road to close for these buyers and sellers, what is your function? What is your role?
That's a great question. So I'm in the title business. Literally no one has any idea what we do. Our job is once you guys get everything together, we actually are the ones who close the transaction.
So when you say get everything together, what exactly does that mean? 'Cause
I
don't
mean,
feel
you
like
put
I
your,
ever have anything
so that's a
together.
very fair point. Very fair point with a lot of real estate agents. But when we get the sales agreement in, we take that, because you did all that work, you put together the terms of the deal, and then once we have the terms of the deal, we order all the lien letters, the taxes, we check to see if there are any mortgages down at the courthouse. We collect all that information. All the money goes through us. So we're the ones who actually close the transaction at the end of the day.
So to me, I'm not a micromanager. You guys are like the Magic Kingdom. Once I get a deal under contract,
There you go.
I send it over to the email and say, here, Amy, take care of it.
Yep.
In the ideal world, that's how it should work.
Right.
And if people ask, like the whole process of title,
Right.
and it really should be a simple job, but people do lots of crazy and wild things to try to make it a little bit more difficult for us.
Give me an example.
Well, for instance, we have to collect to make sure everyone is the legal owner. We don't want anyone selling the property that's not technically, the owner of the property.
I can see why that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
But,
definitely.
so we have to collect their licenses. Well, we had one seller, this happened maybe about a year or two ago, who insisted her name was Moon Butterfly. But yes, this person was insistent, my name is now Moon Butterfly. I changed my name. All the legal documentation is wrong. That's in the courthouse. It should be Moon Butterfly. I'm like, well, where did you change your name at? Because you're allowed to change your name to whatever you want.
Sure.
And like, you show me proof, we're good to go. Her only proof was a library card.
So again, you guys are the hub of everything. Sometimes people think, the seller hands me a check for me. That's not the way it works. By real estate law, the money has to go to the broker, the agent has a split with the brokerage, etc. The buyers and sellers never give money to each other. And that's what I really want to hammer
It's
home.
illegal.
I don't think a lot of people understand is these guys are a third-party, neutral organization. They don't work for the buyers, they don't work for the sellers.
That's 100% accurate. And really, our whole purpose is to guarantee the buyer's interest in the home. That's our job.
Right.
The reason why we're checking all these liens is when you're the buyer and you buy that home, we want you to walk away and not have any issues with it whatsoever, right? Like you're this home, you own it free and clear. And that's our job, is to guarantee and ensure the transaction.
And that just shows you, Anna, how sensitive.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say we make it look so easy, like I make it look so easy, but it looks so easy whenever you put an offer in and you close in 30 days. But there are so many moving parts.
Yeah.
Like you're relying on the municipality, the lender. I know you rely on, not too much, but you rely on realtors to get you some info, like a commission statement or something like that. But it's just so fragile.
Yeah.
It's amazing
Municipal
how,
inspections, things like that.
right, I just think it's amazing how a real estate transaction actually can close in 30 days. All right, so I want to thank you very much for coming, Mr. Moon Butterfly. You guys are a very integral part of the Road to Close, and we thank you so much. More from Road to Close when we come back. Hey everyone, your trusted real estate advisor, Brian Tessier, and you are watching Road to Closed.
So today, we're going to see some real estate, and it's not always glamorous. and beautiful. It starts out like a piece of normally. Exhibit A. All right. Oh, this is gonna be fun. We've got no door on this garage. It's kind of just like an idea at this point. The three little pigs. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. This is what makes it fun. This is the fun part, you know? Brian can be in his mansions and his high rises, but this is what I like to be in. The dirt, the grime, the decay. I can see the potential. This is what I like about it. Potential, it's a canvas, you can make it into whatever you want, and of course make money with it. Can you believe it? What the? Oh my God, what in the salmonella? Oh my God. That's a real, wow. Fell in the hole, but you know, I work for my money, so that's fine. We've just begun. We haven't even gone inside yet. Oh man, what amazes me and what goes through my mind is how does it get to this point? This is a nightmare. You know, sometimes maybe fire isn't the worst idea. Oh my goodness, look. Talk about putting a Band-Aid on a gushing wound. You know, some anger therapy. In all seriousness, once you get past the shock of the despair that this property is, what's going through my mind is layout, mainly cost. What's it going to cost to bring this property from uninhabitable to habitable? Because right now, I really don't know how this place is not condemned yet. Oh my God, look at that. There is a Romex wire running. There's no conduit. It's just stapled to the wall. Code violation. We got probably a roof leak of some sort, which would probably be the least of the problems. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh my God. Well, I can see it's Formica countertops. They had a nice earth tone vibe before the earth came into this house. Wow. Was there a fire? There might have been a fire. This looks like it was burned. This looks like it was burned. Oh, wow. There's a shopping cart in here. This is interesting. This might be a code violation too. Look, you have the register on the floor. It gets wet, you're gonna fall right out of the shower. It is really cold in here. There's no heat, obviously. If you put the heat on, the mold that's already growing in here would spread like wildfire. So it's probably best that you don't turn it on at this point. But to put this house into perspective, this is a distressed home. This is what investors look for when they want to find something that someone is desperate to get rid of. This is prime. In terms of, I've been in many flips. I'm a flipper myself. In terms of where it ranks, this is probably more on the worst part of the scale of homes that I've seen. All right, guys. Well, that is real estate, and I'm ready to go back to the studio where the heat is on and where it's safe. So let's head there. That's Road to Close, real estate. We're out.
All right, Road to Close. I am Brian Tessier. I am on location at Reed Building Supply with
Aaron Reed.
And we're going to talk about what it is that Reed Building Supply does in the real estate fit space.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. So we are out of a building supply company, so we sell drywall, lumber, metal studs, roofing products, all that type of stuff. So we're a building material supplier in the construction space.
All the sexy stuff.
Yeah, right.
So building supplies is the core product of anything, whether it's a commercial building, a freestanding home, etc. Are there trends in the building supply industry?
Yeah, so you'll also, in the housing market, you always get your classic house, you know, the brick house, the vinyl house. But now they're starting to get more into like the hardy siding or the darker colors or the metal siding, that type of stuff. I'm
seeing that a lot.
Yeah, or the metal roof. roof too. Those are beautiful.
Metal
as well.
roof is starting to come in. I'm seeing a lot of like black downspouts and gutters
Yeah.
and windows. You seeing that
Yeah,
as well?
absolutely. And the bronze color, that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
bronze stuff is nice. I think the thing about cement board, which is an attraction to buyers, I don't even know if they know this yet, is it's paintable, right?
Yeah.
So if your house is blue in 2022 and red comes in trend in 2024, you can paint it.
Yeah, if you get it, you get a pre-finish, so you can paint over it, get it primed, that type of stuff. And also, you know, if you get dirty, you have some little kids run around like I do now. You know, it's easy to clean too as well.
Yeah, interesting. There's no denying that the luxury market, the high-end market across the United States is booming. And that is true in Pittsburgh as well. We are seeing more million-dollar homes being built and sold than ever before. How would a larger square footage luxury home affect the reed supply?
Well, it doesn't really affect us. We take the smallest project to the biggest project the same. So we give you the same care, effort, and you know, the whole customer service thing we put in as a smaller project. Obviously, that gives us a little more revenue and it helps grow a smaller company, family company like ours. So we'd love to get a shot at any size home. So you know, we would do our best, you know, with either of them.
What he's saying is bring it on. All right, Rebuilding Supply, I know you're more than just a supply company, which means you're a very busy man. So I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, more roads to close coming right after this. Hey, I'm Brian Tessier. I know you were entertained and you learned a lot on Road to Close, but if there's something we missed, find me right here.
What's up, everybody? This is Michaela Sanford, and you're watching Road to Close.
All right, we're getting close to the end of the show and we saved the best for last. Thanks for staying with us tonight. Really appreciate it. Fitness. Anna, we're going to talk about fitness. It's huge to the real estate community. It's huge to the show.
Oh, super important.
Give me a little explanation of what you do throughout the week.
I mean, as much as I can get into the gym, I do. It's cardio, weightlifting. It's a great mind clearer.
So I have a little bit of a routine. I do a little bit of jogging, a little bit of weightlifting, etc. But you know, we talk about coaching and the mentor moments, and I have a couple coaches. I think coaching is super important when it comes to fitness.
Yeah.
And that's going to lead us into our next guest, Yarden Brantley of Shape Training. So Yarden, you're the owner of House of Pain, I understand?
Also known as Shape Training.
Oh, okay, Shape Training. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we've been in East Liberty for 8 years, actually, this October. And, you know, it's really been a labor of love, I think is what most entrepreneurs will say. But, you know, we really feel like we're here to serve people like you two, you know, high achievers. However, the biggest part is really about learning how to move as a human being, as an athlete. And that's what we're really doing, functioning. Yeah. Absolutely.
So give us a little bit of menu of services, because I know you just don't do open gym.
Right, so we do have that option, right? But that's probably the smallest thing that we do. Really, it's about coaching, right? You want to connect with the person, connect with a group of people as well, too, community. So we have one-on-one training, we have small group training, and what we're probably known the most about in the city is our boot camp.
Yeah, so I think whenever you start the next boot camp, you can call Anna.
Hold on now.
Let's go.
And I know another big thing that I've seen is you're starting to do franchises, sell franchises.
Yeah, so that's huge for us. We're really venturing off of that. Listen, we love our model. We've been able to serve a lot of people, and we've been able to create a culture and a community. So now the next thing is to bring it, you know, outside of East Liberty.
Oh, yeah. Well, that means more locations, which is real estate locations.
Amen. That's
so where
right.
are you going to bring it?
We're looking at the North Hills and the South Hills. So if you know anybody,
We know people.
You know.
Yeah.
We know people. So coaching, what does that involve?
So listen, coaching, we're looking at, you know, one-on-one services with you, right? So it's really looking at who you are as a person. We use things like Fit 3D, which is a body scanner. It's going to be able to look at what your body looks like today, and every 6 weeks measuring that. We have a dietitian for you as well too. So, you know, eating correctly, we know, is always part of the process.
And obviously, I mean, you're in great shape. Your dietitian is obviously doing wonders for you. So, you know, we want to thank you for coming on, and good luck in all your fitness.
Okay, hold on. I knew you were going to try to push me off pretty quickly, but I actually came to make sure that you and Anna got in the best shape of your life. So I think we need to head to the gym.
Let me check my schedule. I got an opening in summer 2023, so that'll be plenty of time.
No. I'm talking about now, actually.
Now?
Yeah, I've checked with your producer. I did it before. I always do my homework.
Hold on. Jeff,
We're ready
is this
to go.
okay? Can you talk to my agent? I don't think we're insured for this.
I mean, I'm ready. Let's go.
All right,
Let's do
go.
it. All right, welcome to Shape. You're here. It's too late now. Let's start with.
What? Because I'm new, I can't have fun?
Good. Now everybody's here. Let's start with the body scan. All right, Brian, so we're gonna get our Fit 3D body scan here. Now, what's great about this is it's gonna give you 60 different measurements all throughout your body, right? But more importantly, it's gonna give me how much lean mass you have versus fat. And that's what's most important. We wanna trim that body fat down, increase that lean mass, get you ripped, my guy. Ooh, my guy, good. Good work. Just keep that chest down. Keep pulling though. Keep pulling. He's looking good. He's looking good. Okay, good. Now just sit your butt back a little further. There you go. Good. Good. Now don't cheat me. You got 10 more. All right, Anna, here we go. Head just hinge down just a little bit more, good. And roll right to your hip, right into your pocket. That's it. That's the way to roll. Okay, yeah, use those legs, right? Legs. There it is, good. Full extension, big push. Big push, come on. I'm keeping you alive, here we go. Last one, go get him. Big punch, I love it. My guy, good, that looks good to me. Keep working. Good push. Yeah, my guy.
Dude, that was awesome.
Okay, man, that's good, man.
I think I'm out of here.
Out of here. That was just a warm-up.
We're all done here at Shape Training. Thanks for joining us for this episode, Road to Closed.
We're not done yet.
What do you mean we're not done?
Look at this place. We got so much we can
Bro,
do
we
here.
got security.
Oh, come on, I'll close the show. Well, thank you for joining us this week on the Road to Close. What?
Guys, just let me take care of it. Thanks for watching
Hey,
Road to Close.
hold on, let the expert go. Hannah, take it away.
Okay, guys. Without breaking a sweat, here's how it's done. Thanks everyone for tuning into this episode of Road to Closed. We know we were able to provide you with some clarity and insight into the world of residential real estate, while also having a little fun along the way. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Until next time, I'm Hannah Mears, and thanks for watching.